Greetings. Okay, hold on. Greetings, Shelpers. Sorry about that. I was having an issue, but I'm okay. I felt like the water was gonna come back up on me that I just took a sip of, and I was like, oh my god, I'm live, so hold on. Greetings, Shelpers. How are you? I hope you're doing well. We're doing Ball and Pit today because it just came out. It's something I've really been wanting to play, and I played it a little bit before stream. Sorry about that. And it is a roguelike mixed with a, like, what is it called? The Breaker games, which are Arkanoid, technically, I think was what they're called. And I have been playing it a bit. I got through the first level with one character, but you need to get to the first level with 2 to unlock, and then you have a village thing. So what's going on is you have a village thing with like wheat and forests and stuff like that, but I really need to bounce people off of here in order to build it. So we're gonna give that a try. See, we're gonna see 111. Please hit it. God dang it. Because I think I need one more hit. Okay. Most buildings can be improved, upgraded to improve their bonuses. Hold LT to highlight. Yes, I know that. I guess we built it. Okay. We don't have the upgrade stuff, so I guess that's good. But yeah, so you put down wheat fields, you put down forest to get lumber, of course, stone. And yeah, we have this. Okay, so some buildings give you extra characters, like this building gave me an extra character. And some buildings give you like pluses to stats. So I'm just gonna show you the build mode. We can get more stuff from it. There's a lot of stuff that's still locked because I only played this game for about 2 hours before we got on. So Boneyard Trophy, gain status effect power for each character you've completed in the Boneyard. Well, that's not very many right now. So Gunsmith, all characters gain +1 bonus to Dex. And yes, you do level up in this, all kinds of fun stuff. So housing, unlocks a new character, unlocks a new character. I think we need more wood. So we should build more forests. So right now, all I can really do while they're recovering is go back out. And I have to defeat the first level with this character, because that's the only character I have unlocked besides the one I already beat it with. So I hope you all are doing well. I'm sorry this is not a holiday thing, but I was just like, if I don't play it now, I'm not going to get the chance to on stream, because I think we lose our ultimate on the 20th maybe, and I don't know if I'm streaming before then or if I am, like what I'm doing. I do know that the next time I stream will probably be Wednesday of next week, and only Wednesday, and then it's going to be the Halloween event for Dead by Daylight. They have like pumpkins you can smash and whatnot. So I'm hoping against hope that it kind of works. So you have these little balls you can use. So you aim with right and like right trigger when you move with left, or trigger, yeah, the circle. And then you can upgrade just through the run. So this one inflicts more bleed for the spiky ball I already have. Enemies explode on death. Yes, we're gonna take that one. If you get too close, they will injure you. You take too much injury, you're dead. The blue bar on the side is my upgrade status for my next level, and the red circle, of course, is my life, kind of like Diablo. Okay, you can upgrade or you can take different weapons. Increase the crit chance of hitting enemies on their left side. Oh, that's weird. They can also throw stuff at you, of course, or, you know. But yeah, the money helps you upgrade. The XP helps you upgrade your character. And then the fission gives you increased levels to your abilities, so you can do more damage or have a bigger area or what have you. Ooh, laser, horizontal, yes please. I love the vertical laser, so I'm gonna love the horizontal laser. It's kind of like if you love sandwich bags, you might like vacuum packs, sort of thing. And I was like, oh, I really want to play this, but I was gonna play more World War Z, but we still have access to World War Z after I, you know, play the Dead by Daylight event, so husband was just like, why don't you just play this then? So I'm going to. I love this. At first I was like, okay, they wanted me to do a city builder type situation. I'm not very good at that. I don't know if I'd like that. And here it's like very simple, and then the game loop of this is just so pleasing to me. It's unreal. And if you catch your projectiles, you don't have them go behind you very far, so you can actually get them back. So okay, earthquake would be deals 4 to 12 damage in a square, or decrease damage taken by 10%. We're gonna decrease the damage. Yeah, 2007, can you imagine? That was the year we got married, so I can't imagine, like, there are people on this earth that are, you know, legal to vote and whatnot. And that was the year we got married. My goodness. I'm so old, Shelpers. How are you, Shy Guy? I hope okay. But yeah, I love being able to just, like, play this game and increase things. I love breakers. I love roguelikes. It's like somebody reached into my brain and made a game for me. I'm not gonna have access to this after a couple days, but it'll be fine. But yeah, they have all kinds of upgrades, and the temporary ones, permanent ones. The sheriff guy that or disgraced deputy called like Flamefinger or whatever I played with earlier, he actually fires automatically, and you can have the game fire automatically. By the way, you can increase or decrease the speed of which things go. Like, this is how slow it goes on normal. I just don't do that kind of thing. I actually go pretty fast. I mean, I know I might have more accuracy with like picking up certain things, but I don't care. I'm gonna die though. At least something's gonna jump me. That's okay. Ghost passes through enemies, so that's nice. Because you can hit enemies further back then, farther back. Okay. Dark deals 3 times damage but destroys itself after hitting an enemy. Has a 3-second cooldown or more damage reduction. Let's go Ghost, because I do need. Okay, so now there's fission and then there's fusion, and that will actually combine different things you have. So it'll be the blood ball and then the other one. So it'll be bleed and laser. So a laser that makes you bleed, I suppose. Yeah, gray areas. I mean, it's better than like everything going wrong, but gray areas kind of suck. Ah, I'm getting pounced on. Let's get some flame up in here. Ah, Jesus. I'm so glad I have that thing. I really need some life though. Really need some life. I need a life. I'm gonna need help. Okay. At least when you're fighting things really close, you get your balls back pretty quick, but yeah. Okay, let's look at what fission gives us. Level 1 to the axe. Well, that's not optimal because we're dying here. We could use some more power, but eventually they will drop some health if I don't fuck up too badly. I'll probably fuck up too badly before then though. Yep, it's a roguelike breaker. 2 of my absolute favorite things. I'm gonna keep the damage down. No, please God, okay. If they see you, they do the exclamation point like I'm gonna pounce on you. However, if you can kill them before they can do that. Yeah. Come on now. Die please, thank you. Oh, speaking of die please, I actually did watch Seoul Station last night. The prequel to Train to Busan, like I said I was going to watch. And I have thoughts. And thought number 1 is it's not as good as Train to Busan, which obviously. But I should let you guys see what I chose, because I've been just picking things. Sorry about that. So a lot of my things got to level up. That's good, considering the lackluster leveling up Vision gave us last time. But yeah, I watched Seoul Station, and I didn't really like any of the characters. Like, okay, there are so many good things about Train to Busan. Okay, and one of the things that's so good, and I'm almost damn dead. Oh, and this is like the first kind of wall thing, so not good, not optimal, absolutely not optimal, dead. Okay. Oof. She's harder than he is. So, I'm gonna just keep retrying for a while. So, the thing about Train to Busan is the characterization was so good. Like, okay, for those of you, do you want me to go through Train to Busan or just tell you what I liked or didn't like about it? Because to me, it was almost the perfect zombie movie. Almost the perfect zombie movie. You got to know more than just the main character. Multiple people had flaws. The other characters kind of showed what paths the main character could take, which is not a storytelling device I normally see in a zombie movie, of all things. Like, there's just so much there. There's just so much there. I took a toxic ball that'll make them, like, take damage over time and whatnot. Just like the bleed, kind of, sort of, though it can kind of spread, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, the arrows come at me and they do like 5 damage instead of like 10. You can decrease damage taken, of course. But yeah, Train to Busan was something special. This was not like that. It was an okay zombie movie, but as like a prequel to Train to Busan, it sucked. So it kind of depends on if you're looking at it for its own merit. Was it like one of the better zombie movies I've seen? No, it was actually pretty standard, let's say, for the genre. Okay, so this one says increase the chance of 15% when hitting enemies in the back. If you can get your balls up between, it's pretty good. Increase which you pick up items and catch balls. That'd be pretty cool. Let's try that one. I thought it was just to like suck in stuff, but if it's to suck in my balls as well, I like sucking balls, so... Okay, hold on one quick second. Husband needs to get through. He's gonna be walking past my TV, so... Alright, there we go. Yes, it had realized depth. It had character growth. It was more than just like the main character. Like, you were rooting for like multiple people, okay? And in zombie movies, that's kind of difficult because sometimes no. So, yeah, I really loved it for a lot of reasons. So, Train to Busan, I'm gonna kind of fuck this up. There's like this businessman who's like his life is work, and he's never there for his daughter because his life is work, and he got a divorce because his life was work, and he seems like he's trying, but not really that hard in the dad department. And I know you could argue, well, he's a workaholic, he's trying to provide, and yeah, that's true, but still, it's not the same thing. So that goes on, and he has to get like his daughter on a train out to his ex-wife or something. I might be fucking this up a hair, but who cares? And on the train, the zombie outbreak happens. While on the train, there's like a businessman who's like a piece of shit, and he's like, I'm important, I'm special, like I deserve to live and stuff like that, and he makes questionable decisions and uses people so that he has a better chance of survival. And then there's another guy on the train whose like wife is pregnant, and he's a great guy, and even though his wife is pregnant, he has a baby on the way. He wants to protect her, but he sticks his fucking neck out for other people, even though he doesn't have to do that at all. He sticks his neck out for other people on the train and tries to help people and save them. And it's like you see these people in the paths this businessman who's a father could take. Will he be the guy who's there for his child, who's there for other people? Or will he be the guy who's so selfish that he doesn't care who he uses or hurts? We found a blueprint for another building or something. Awesome. We'll look at that when we get home. Warhorn. All baby balls, the ones that don't have a special thing, deal 20% more damage. We are gonna do fusion. We are gonna do vampire toxicity. Let's go. Poison and vampire level 3 applies 1 stack of poison on hit. Poison lasts for 9 seconds and each stack deals 2 to 4 per second. Okay, cool. Oh, damn it. Stop it. Stop it. It's starting to move too fast. Meaning I'm starting to get too close to those people. Let's hope to God I can get some of this gone. Thank you, lasers. Oh, all of those nice arrows coming at my ass. That's not optimal. But yeah, you actually had people to root for, like multiple people. You wanted multiple people to survive this trip. And I really liked it. The way they did the zombies, the fact that it was in such close quarters was interesting. You know, most of the time there's a zombie outbreak in an entire city, and that entire city gives you a lot of options, sure, but like what happens if you have to get to the front of the train and all the zombies are in the back? So there's just something so good about it. Okay, let's return to base for a second. And let's see if we can try to build something else or at least get more resources now. Because I think we can. I think we can harvest. But first, let's see if we can build another forest. Because I really need more wood. I really need more wood. If I'm running low on space, I can expand outside the base. Yes, I know. I don't think I have enough money for it, though. I don't think I have enough money. Do I have enough money for it? Oh, yeah, I have more than enough money. What am I doing with my life? Okay. Gotcha. Okay, I was like, I don't have enough money. I do. I'm a liar. I just did not realize. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's good for now. That is definitely good for now. All right, let's try harvesting. Oh, but it gets smaller every time. Oh, no. Oh, no, Lord. Okay. Please. Okay, we got that going. Okay, good. So we got more wood, so that's awesome. Can we build anything else now? That helps. Let's see if we have anybody else's housing. Nope, we still need 5 for this. What the hell do we need for this? Oh, way more wheat. Thank you. Yeah, I would love subversion. I thought about writing a subversive thing as well, but I don't think I would manage it. I've seen some unique concepts like Wreck, not Quarantine. Quarantine was the Americanized version of Wreck, which came from, Wreck came from, I don't want to say Spain, but like Central, South America, somewhere in there. I forget which country, I'm sorry. And they actually, I'm gonna build some more fields and whatnot, because I'm gonna need some. Yep, okay, put one there. Put one there. I'm gonna have to move that rock if I want to build another one. Okay. And then let's see if we can get another field out. Or another tree. We can. I have a feeling I should move the rock, but I'm not gonna yet. Okay, we're gonna just leave that there. I'll move them around based on what it looks like eventually, but let's go back. So, Quarantine played with the fact that it was like a mutated rabies virus. And I don't know how many of you know about like rabies and like prion viruses, but they're fucking scary shit. So, I think, was it The Last of Us that essentially did the whole like ant virus thing, or was that more, that might have been World War Z. sort of. And World War Z had some really unique concepts in it. The book, and mostly the book, let's be real, not the movie. But like, I really liked the original, or the book, because the book had it not starting out as anything but like a natural virus or whatever, essentially. I mean, I don't think it was anything other than a natural virus, but there's that. And then the book had like them not nuking countries to give you back like the land, because like I said, nuclear winter is not a thing in apparently zombie universe. And I always just kind of cringe at that, like how could it not be a thing? But they say it's not. So anyway, they also didn't have, I don't think, the people that like fed the family members to like the other people. I always, you know, never thought about that. The thing is with, how do I put this? In the snow, apparently the zombies were slower in World War Z. Like they almost kind of hibernated, sort of. And the interesting thing to me is like stuff that slows down. So like entropy would still affect a zombie. The thing about the times where you have a virus that intubates inside of a host, the host, if it's gonna be destroyed, like, you know, literally rot on its feet, they're really gonna have to get to a place where they're gonna have to spread it very quickly. So like quarantine was about the zombie virus, but they didn't spread quicker than other viruses. 28 days later virus zombies, oh yeah, it was in like a matter of seconds. I don't even think the transformation from up and running to fucking zombie eating horde was like less than a minute. So it's not like you had somebody and they were fine and wonderful for hours and then they turn on you. No, if you see somebody turning in the world of 28 days later, you gotta fucking jet. And you gotta do it now. Because it's literally that severe, that quick. And one guy in one of the movies literally gets a drop of blood from a bird beak in his eye because the bird was either eating like the dead body or something, and it was literally that quick that he looked up, got a drop of blood in his eye, next thing you know he's like chasing after his people. Like it is that fast. So I liked that was a bit subversive, like the time it takes. But okay, and 28 days later had it where they liked to come out in the, like, they didn't like to come out in the day, so they came out in the dark. World War Z had it so like in cold climates they didn't like come out nearly as fast. So that was pretty cool. They were like sluggish and slow, and they had that going on. Train to Busan at night, they didn't like to move. So like if they went through a train tunnel that moved like in total darkness, the zombies would become inert unless they could smell you or hear you. So it wasn't just like, well, you know, now you're just stuck there. If they go through a tunnel, they can move through, which creates some very intense scenes, as you can imagine, because they have to work on getting, you know, through the zombies during certain parts to reach certain parts of the train, like to either help people who are stuck or whatever. So how the zombies react is a little different. Wheat upgrade, collect 2 wheat with every harvest, increase the range, sorry about that, to which wheat is collected. I think we'll just do double wheat harvest, and that'll be permanent for this character at least. So that'll be nice. I don't know if I should go back every time. I don't know if like they, you know, start the ability to harvest after every run, or if it's after like 5 minutes or what, but we're here for now. But in Rec, instead of Quarantine, which was the Spanish version, Rec was, I think, Demons? Maybe I'm wrong about that, like Possession, which was very much Brian Keene's book. What the fuck was his called? I forgot, but Brian Keene is a Bram Stoker winner, and his like book about zombies is literally like they're demons, and when they jump into the bodies, they have essentially the knowledge of who they jumped into. So like if your husband or wife was taken over by the zombie, they or the demon, they could be like, honey, it's me, please, you don't understand. Remember that night in Cabo? Like, they can fuck with you. They also take over the bodies of animals and stuff too, I think. And they take over like children, but then they only have what the children know. So like if a child was like killed in a car and in a safe, like a child seat, the critter doesn't know how to unleash that because the kid wouldn't have known how to get unbuckled. So some of it's really unique out there still, but I don't want new balls unless I can keep them. Let's see. Increase the chance of hitting enemies in the same column as you. So basically, essentially in the front, I think. Which is good. I need more protection from assholes in the front. Yeah, because I get hit fast and fast and fast. They come up on me like crazy. Oh man. Yep. I'm getting pelted. Oh man. I don't know what I do wrong with this character, but the other character is a lot easier for me to use. I don't know what I do with the other guy. I don't know. Yikes. So anyway, Train to Busan had so many good moments because of all the different things, the shenanigans that can ensue in a tight space. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I enjoy Plain Dead or Flight of the Living Dead, even though it's a bad by all rights zombie movie, is that the tightness of the setting really goes a long fucking way to help. Okay, let's go. Come on. Shoot. Oh man. They rolled off the other way. God bless it. Come on. They only bounced so many times. Okay, back to the pit. Okay, essentially this entire story is there was a place called Balbalon, and it fell into, like, that big pit came up underneath it, and now people go and seek their fortunes in the pit. That's essentially the story. Like trying to clear it out, trying to gain money, etc., etc. But yeah, I like the idea kind of sort of like zombies being demons, but also most zombie books do not take entropy into account. So like, you know, decaying and stuff. That's why when I see a zombie movie, when like the zombies are like eating and eating and eating on a person, I'm like, the virus wouldn't want them eating on the person over and over again, I don't think. The virus would just want the infection, and then you would think that as long as it knew there was enough infection in the person, that the infection would be, or the critter would be like, yep, you're infected now, no big deal, like, go have fun now. And that's kind of the way I feel. Like, what is the purpose of, like, essentially, like, making this person, like, less than half a body that can just dissolve into nothingness? Wouldn't it be more useful just to, like, make their legs continue to work, etc.? Now, in World War Z, another thing that was interesting is that when somebody is terminal, like they're dying of cancer or whatever, they can sense that, and they do not infect you. When you have a virus or a disease that will kill you, they will not infect you, they will not bite you, they will literally run right past you. And that's because as a host, you're not very good. And I get that, but at the same time, I don't know if they addressed entropy, the decay. They might have, but I just kind of find that interesting. Because, you know, looking for a host, you would want a healthy host. That makes sense. But if you have if being a zombie literally decays you, or if you have to get almost eaten down to nothing before the virus takes effect, technically that's not very, well, effective for a strategy to spread. Like, most viruses and stuff don't want to kill the host. They don't, because then they'd have to find a new body, or if they can't leave the body, they'd have to die, so... Oh, I don't know if they've ever done, like, too hot. I read a book once about, like, zombies that need warmer weather. So... not away from, like, bodies they decay in the heat, right? I'm not very knowledgeable about, you know, how things decay and stuff, but I think cold stuff preserves more than hot, so it would be interesting to see zombies be like, no, get me away from that hot ass weather. And that's the only time you'd see my dick in Florida, let me tell you. Zombies ain't down here, right? I'll live with the fucking gators, let's go. I will truly live with the gators, really and truly. I'm beating this thing to death and it's not going to die, so... oof. Please, 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 please. I need more stuff. But yeah, like the big twists in Soul Station, I already could see it coming. So I don't know if I want to ruin the movie for you all. Ooh, a schoolhouse, nice. I'm gonna get shat on in like just 3 seconds here. Ow. Ow. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with this particular character, Lord. Aw, man. What the fuck am I doing wrong? Where did I go wrong? Well, at least we got a new blueprint. Let's return to base and see if they're going to allow us another chance, or if I have to keep them awake and alive. Let's see. Okay, they're going to let me do this again. Very good. Let's go. Okay. Shoot. Oh man, I was hoping I did it on an angle. I guess I did somewhat. Okay. I guess I did somewhat. A bountiful harvest. Well played. Okay, let's see if we can build a new homestead. Ooh, yes. Kinda, sorta haunted house. There we go. Oh, fuck me running though. I think I have to... do I have to build it, or... hang on, let's see if I got a new person just unlocked. Nope, we gotta build that fucking thing. Okay. That means I'm gonna have to, like, move it over and then move it over later. Okay, I forgot. Hang on. Yeah, I have to. Well, in rearrange mode. Yep, okay. I just have to bring it closer to the fields and stuff so that they can bounce off it and build it, theoretically, hopefully. I don't know if they have to build this one, but probably. Well, in rearranging mode, you can pick up and drag. Yep, I know. I don't want to, but okay. We're gonna go back out now. We're gonna go play. I was hoping there'd be another character now that I did that, but I think we have to actually do the work of bouncing off it. But yeah, the only one person being immune thing doesn't make sense to me either. Now, I could understand where if a virus can tell who's immune to it, like let's say you got bit and you came out immune, right? If the virus could tell, like it tried to consume you before, but you were immune. So the next time something that carries the virus finds you, it wants you dead. Because if it can't infect you, it wants you dead. I would understand that shit. Like, it make, like, let's say, at least, like, 20% of the population immune. But that means, like, it finds you faster. Like, the zombies would take, like, a really big vested interest in, like, eating you alive. Or something. So... because it knows it wouldn't be able to attack you. I mean, it could just technically leave you alone, but I would think that it would be interesting to see the whole, you know, dynamic of really wants you gone. But then again, would a virus really think that way if it were a virus? Would it be like, oh, I can't infect this thing and this thing's probably gonna like make me not able to infect anything else, so I have to hurt it? I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on the virus. I mean, we're not talking reality always when we talk zombies either. So, do you want me to not give spoilers for the Train to Busan prequel Seoul Station? Or don't you all care? Because I would like to talk about it. But at the same time, I don't want to like spoil it for you. But also, if you've seen one zombie movie, you've technically seen this one. Which is a shame, because I can't say that about Train to Busan. Oof. I went right into that arrow, almost like it was a power-up. Jesus. I'm hoping we can get past the boneyard and see something good before the end of stream, but no promises. Absolutely none. Okay. And I'm still putting up Song of the Day on my... I put up one that I loved since before I met Brandon. It's called The Prince of Darkness. It says it's by 666, but I don't remember that being the name of the people who did it before. So... yeah, I think so. I didn't really play the second Last of Us, but the thing is that, you know, everybody thinks they might be the only ones left, so I understand if you're with a group and you're like the only one immune in the group, maybe. Although, like, if you're in a group with your family, that might mean, like, less. That would make less sense, because if you're immune, there's a decent chance someone in your family may also be immune. I'm not saying, you know, it has to be a big chance, but there is a decent chance that you would actually be immune. So... oh man. I am so screwed. Okay, no, I guess not. I am now, though. Because all my balls are tied up in the back. I hate it when people tie up my balls. Okay, let's see. Lightning, I guess, we'll take. Anything that adds more fuckery to the other people. Okay, so in the movie, and there are so many things I don't like about it. I wish I did. Okay, so in the movie, they're in the city, and it starts out with this homeless guy who is bitten. You don't know how he gets bitten. He's just bitten. And he becomes like patient zero in the town. where he is essentially the person that gives it to everybody else. So he's sick walking through town. He like finds a way to like back to his place where he normally resides on the street. And this guy who is his brother, or calls him bro, who's a friend, he is like trying to get people to like help him and believe him that his friend is bloody. He goes to like this hospital, and the hospital is like full. Maybe it's like a more like a shelter that has a hospital unit with it, but the place is full, so somebody would have to give up their bed, so nobody's doing that. So here he goes somewhere else. He goes to the police, and the police are like, they really don't like the homeless in this movie. Like, really don't like the homeless in this movie. So eventually, you know, the friend gets up and starts walking around and chomping people, and that's kind of how everything goes. But the main character in the story essentially is this girl who is young. I thought she was of legal age. She's not, which makes the story disturbing to me in a lot of ways. And she gets up. Her boyfriend is nowhere to be found. She knows he's going to be at the internet cafe. She goes to the internet cafe, and she's like, why are you always at this fucking internet cafe? Essentially, you know, you're supposed to be out looking for a job. We're going to get evicted from the like small place we're already staying at, which is a little more than a motel room. And she finds out that he put her online to let's say do some sex work, and she doesn't want to. And he's either done it before or tried to pimp her out before. And when he met her, she was in a brothel, and she left the life not amicably. It makes it sound like he saved her from that life. Okay, but just keep that in mind. So the guy and the girl have a fight, and the guy is basically like, well, if you're not going to do this for us, we're done. Even though his stupid ass doesn't want a job, he'd rather mooch off of his girlfriend spreading her legs. But okay. By the way, this was only a PG-13 movie, so make of that what you will. You don't really see anything like too graphic as far as like sexually or whatever. So this thing, it can attack multiple times and I'm dead again. God dang it. Why in the Freemasonry am I not doing well? My balls are trapped in the back, I think. That's what's going on. Yep. Oof. Well, let's see if we got anything else going on. At least I'm upgrading her. So they fight. The girl walks around. He's like, don't come back. She ends up sort of kind of where like the homeless people are, just as like the zombies are attacking. And I don't like so many people in this movie. I'm just gonna say it flat out. Usually I'm rooting for somebody, and at this point I don't know that she's underage. And that's gonna be important, not just because of the pimping, but hold on. So okay, they're building the house currently. See, I have to bounce them off the house. So did I make enough bounces for the next character? I did not. Okay. Then we're going back out with her, I suppose. So during this guy, this older man is like, my God, that's my daughter. When he finds her like profile on, let's say, this adult escort dating site, whatever, he's like, oh, that's my daughter. And right away, I'm gonna just spoil the whole thing. I knew this guy wasn't the guy he said he was, because he has like this guy with him that says that it's her, I found her, and with her backstory, I just knew what was gonna happen. So anyway, we'll call him Dad. The dad finds the boyfriend, and at first is like, he meets with him and is like, where is she? And then the older man says, I'm her dad. I want to see her right now. I want her to come home. And the boyfriend is like helping out the dad find her. So on and off, they're on the phone with each other, the boyfriend, quote unquote, and the girl. And she is in and out of trouble in like the police station where shit breaks loose and stuff like that. Now, I didn't like her for a few reasons, and one of them is like the cop is like shitting on the homeless people, and she's like, but I'm not a homeless. Like, don't hurt me, I'm not homeless. What about me? I'm not homeless. And then he sees that she has no shoes because she lost them during her running from the zombies, because they were like these strappy little numbers. They weren't like really great for running. And he sees she has no shoes and basically thinks she's a liar because she's like running around town with no shoes on, which, yeah, great way to decide if someone's homeless, am I right? But anyway, he shits on the unhoused, but she ends up like following this one unhoused guy around, and they kind of help each other get through, and they lose the other like unhoused people that they're traveling with, and the dad and boyfriend keep missing her and the homeless guy in different directions, and eventually they are going to meet up, but the military is like barricading the city and won't let the dad and boyfriend get in. I'm skipping through a lot of the movie, if you can tell. And the people are trying to get to safety, but the military won't let them cross because the military doesn't know if they're actually infected or not. And most of the people on the other side are not at that point. But the zombies breaking in are only a matter of time. So she followed the guy who is the homeless guy, gets shot. She follows the guy who was trying to protect the survivors. She gets scratched trying to like hand over hand across a gap, and this guy tries to help her and then he dies. So she's on her own. But she finally gets a hold of her boyfriend and her dad, and the whole time the older guy does not want to talk to her on the phone. And I'm like, that can't be your dad, because if my daughter had ran away from home as a teenage girl and she was on the fucking phone telling me she was in trouble, I would be yanking that phone out of her boyfriend's hand so fucking often, telling her I miss her, I love her, asking her where she is, all kinds of things. He never did it. He never talked to her on the phone. Always let the boyfriend do it. I'm like, that's because he's not a good man. Something is wrong here. So they actually find each other at this like model house, and the boyfriend finds the girl and they're like tearfully reunited, even though I would not like him at all. Ooh, a consulate. Chance for characters to gain 1 bonus to leadership. Nice. Don't know what leadership does right now, but okay, let's pick fire. But yeah, so they get reunited, and then he's like, your dad, you know, your dad wants to see you. Your dad's with me. And she's like, my dad came all that way, but he's sick. And here, the boyfriend finally finds out that that was her pimp that she had, you know, ran away from. And apparently she had taken money from her pimp. I don't know if that's true, because pimps think they own everything the girl ever does. That they own the girl mind, body, and soul. That nothing the girl owns belongs to her, etc. It's one of the many reasons I don't like pimps at all. Because it's not about taking care of the people who are sex workers for them. It's about getting them addicted to things so that they have no recourse but to stay, taking all their money so they can't leave, etc. It's not like a manager. They just do really unscrupulous things. So the boyfriend, to his credit, tries to save her, sort of, from her pimp, but the pimp kills him and gets her in the model house on a bed, and you know he's going to be inappropriate with her in that kind of way. and she's crying, and then she closes her eyes, and as he gets on top of her, he senses she has no heartbeat. And he looks down and he sees the scratch on her leg. And you know what happens. So that's literally how it ended. Is that she survives till near the end but was infected, and then she kills her pimp. I mean, decent ending, but one, I saw it coming. Like who the guy was the whole fucking time. Two, I couldn't really root for the characters. I wanted to. And you would think I would want to root for this underage, you know, girl, but like with her being like, well, I'm not homeless, don't hurt me. I'm like, I was really into like the whole fuck you lady thing at that point. I know she's a teenage girl. I get it. I understand it. I get that she's a teenager. I get that teenagers say stupid shit. I get that they're not the most necessarily giving people on the planet. I was just so not happy with her, with a lot of what she did. I mean, I guess that's no reason to be like, okay, she died, let's move on now, but I didn't care for her as a character, I guess. And I should have cared. I did not care. So Train to Busan made me feel things for like several of the people. And most of these people, if I didn't have revulsion for who they were, I just didn't care if they died. And that's not a good movie to me. In a horror movie, one of the things that makes it so compelling to me is that I actually give a fuck. I actually give a fuck that these people are in jeopardy, that the world is going to hell, that they're hurting, they're dying. I did not care. Just didn't matter. So it was kind of standard fare for a zombie movie. And while people are like, well, what about the final girl trope? The final girl trope has not existed in forever. And yeah, to be fair, there were survivors in Train to Busan. I'm not gonna say who they were, but there were people. I'm dead because my balls are gone. God damn it. Please give me my balls back. Please. Damn it. Nope. I almost always die there because my balls keep leaving me. Oh man. I didn't want my balls to die. Oh man. I don't know if I'm gonna get past the first level with this. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Okay, let's go. Okay, I finally built the new house. I think we have a new character. That'd be pretty damn sweet. You've unlocked a character. Yes. Cool. That would be my reaction, so we can go back to the pit for now. Okay, this one is a sorrowful specimen filled with regret. Balls deal 5% more damage each time they bounce, but when they hit the back wall, they return, damaging the enemy they pass through. This might be a good person because I lose all my balls with the first person. I lose, I'm ballless. I am totally fucking neutered, castrated even, by the time they actually get me there. So, yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, it was very telegraphed to me. Maybe I'm like one of the only people that thought so, but from the beginning to the end, she was a runaway. So I would understand the dad maybe being like, you know, but the thing is, I thought he said that your dad was here the whole time, and then I might be wrong. Maybe he never said her dad was with him, but I thought he did. And if he did, she knew her dad was sick. So like, because her actual father was ill and he could barely do anything. So I don't remember if she ever said like, you know, or if he had ever said like your dad is here, but I thought so. Maybe he just said your dad is looking for you. But why she didn't say anything about it beforehand is just kind of beyond me. I don't know. Maybe I just look at it all wrong. I don't know. But it was an okay zombie movie. It was nothing special. And the animation was serviceable, I guess. The character designs were like really basic. Also, they did that thing in, and I know I'm gonna sound like a horrible person, but please bear with me for a minute. There's something they like to do in certain genres of anime, and that is like, it wasn't like a full up skirt panty shot, but she was in a short dress, so like you could see her like panties at points when she's like sitting down and stuff like that, and they didn't like make a point to like not show her in her underwear. And to be fair, the only time I can really think that she's underage was because when she was with the homeless guy, she said, "So you're an adult, right?" And I'm just like, does that mean she's not an adult? And I think that's basically what they were getting at. Because I would never look at it. He's clearly a man and almost in his middle age. And she's looking at him like, "You're an adult, right, mister?" And it was like, it was just so creepy at that point. Just so, like, I had such like revulsion. And then they have like I said, these panty shots. They're insinuating like she was, let's say, against her will, a sex worker, which there is no sex worker against your will because sex work is consensual or not at all. But Jesus, just not good. Just absolutely, I was just like cringing, kind of, sort of. And yes, I know the real world is full of unfair, unnice things, blah blah blah. And again, we had the whole, you know, I don't want to say he was worse than the zombies though, to give him credit. Because there are times where people who are humans are like way worse than the zombies. And that's one of the things that I don't like, is just how often that happens. I did that in the trope video. I know people are awful toward each other. I get that. I really do. And you can still say things about it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, I wish that there would be more examples of like the majority of people being helpful. And I know that that's not really a thing in the world, so why would it be in a zombie thing? But I consider a zombie apocalypse kind of like an extenuatingly horrible circumstance of sorts. Maybe I'm wrong. But like, I would think that that's when things would go out the window. You know? I mean, when the chips are down, yeah, selfishness, I kind of get that. Like, oh, should I let the zombie eat someone else? And then the answer for a lot of people would be yes. Because they want to live. I kind of get that. I kind of understand that. But, like, they make humans seem like way less helpful, way less kind. And like I said, I've dealt with a lot of like being on the bad side of humanity. Sure, okay, granted. I get that. But you're telling me there is like no redemption anywhere except like maybe one person? I don't agree with that. I think there is like an extremely extenuating circumstance. Fuck me. Okay, he found a blueprint. Are we gonna get a chance to like get more materials here? Maybe, maybe. Yes, we will. Okay, we're for it. Let's go. We can just go to the rivers and whatnot. We have to shoot him this way. Oh, when it flew, I was like, oh, bloody hell. I thought we destroyed a building, but we didn't. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else at all? We could try to find a new place to build. This person has a new house. We could try building that one. Okay. So hold on one second. We need to go to the mode where we can move houses. R1 maybe? Oh shit. Okay, yep. We can move this over here because we're done building it. And then we can move this thing closer because we need to start pinging ourselves against that one for the new character. Okay. Let's keep trying with this newbie. I was hoping that since her balls would all get caught behind, that this person's would be better, but I'm not sure. I was hoping though. Like I said, if they run into their balls, they actually get them back faster. Maybe I have to actually do that. But in order for me to do that, I would have to be doing this. And this game on this speed is just kind of, I don't want to say torture, but it's a lot. This one might be a little more manageable for me. I have no idea. Yeah, they do have a short time frame to do the zombie thing, right, or whatever. But like in World War Z, and I hate to keep going back to it, but in World War Z they would do like neighborhood watches where like people would keep each other safe in the night from like zombie attacks. People would like go out with their makeshift weapons and stuff and make sure like nothing was infiltrating the camp, the whatever. And there are like a lot of people, well not a lot, but some who are nice in zombie things, and then of course they end up getting fucked because of course they do. And I understand that. Like I said, I understand the inclination that people aren't kind and life can be sucky, and but I don't know. So yeah, I see my friend the gardener tomorrow. I haven't seen her in an abysmally long time, even though we only live like a few streets apart. She's like 83 and her mobility is like really starting to slow down. So that's part of the reason we don't get together. Her place is not accessible for me, so I don't really go there. Like I have to like sit outside, which is fine. She's got a nice little like patio area, but also she has, even though she's slowing down, she still has like more of a social life than me. Like she goes and listens to music at the senior center, all this kind of stuff. Now, I think if you're a cripple, this is just me, I think if you're a cripple, you should be allowed in the senior center regardless of how old you are. As long as you're an adult, you should be allowed. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, you have to be like 55 plus to be at the senior center. Which, 15 years, Shelpers, I can be there in 15 years if I'm still alive. But I just, you know, now because I'm so disabled and stuff, I wish they'd be like, okay, you have to be 55 years old or in a wheelchair or take like more than like 5 medications, like prescription meds daily and whatnot. And I'd be like, sold, I'm there. Like everything but age, it makes a difference. So yeah. But no, unfortunate. They don't go by how many medications you have, they just go by age. Although I've heard from some people that there is a possibility for some senior centers to take on like disabled people, but for the most part I don't think they'd want to do that because, you know, some places still have kind of their own preconceived notions, like, oh, we're not like an adult daycare, which is not what I would be needing at all. But then again, I don't know how many people at the senior centers around like the Tri-County area or whatever actually mask and shit, because not even people at risk of dying from COVID or other like airborne stuff, they don't really do it either. Which again, we can really talk about like zombie apocalypse movies, because we've seen how people are in a pandemic and how much they don't care to like protect other people. So I kind of get when people are like, but it's realistic when people are assholes though, because yeah, I get that, but at the same time, you know, there should be some more leeway. Like, what if you get stuck in a town full of like Mr. Rogers, essentially? That'd be pretty interesting. Where Mr. Rogers is like, yeah, we can help each other, we can make it through this, and another thing is, it's really weird how the majority of like zombie stuff handles like zombie kids. Like when you see like 1 or 2 kids, it's supposed to be like this huge like horrifying moment. But if like the animals are being zombified and the adults are being zombified, it makes sense the kids are also sort of being zombified. Unless the kids can't like survive the infection for some reason. Because that's also a possibility mayhap. Shit. No. We're starting to die again. I'm not sure like if they're put on pause for killing me when maybe I just have to be more careful with how I do the one person's balls. I don't know. Because I don't seem to be doing a good job with him or her or them or whatever. Damn it. I need more life. I need it. Oh god. Please, 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 please. I'm not gonna survive this again. All I can do is get more money and then start afresh again. Maybe the other one is better, I have no idea. Because it doesn't seem like it passes through, but I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, is it time to start building the house? Maybe. Okay, where is the new house? Over here? Okay, hold on. There we go. Let's go. Okay, plus. Ah, fuck the angle. Well, we got a really good haul that time. I can't be upset about that. I honestly can't be. Let's go back to her. Or them, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I know it wouldn't change people's minds. People aren't gonna act different all of a sudden because of that, but by the same token, they should. I mean, it would probably make people more selfish and everything. I mean, I look at the attitudes of like, I'm gonna just flat out say the attitudes of eugenics when the pandemic happened. Like, oh, only the disabled and elderly will die, it's not a big deal. That is a lot of the attitude people had during the 1918, 1919, whatever flu pandemic we had. Even back then, they were like, I don't care. And the minute it was declared over, everybody was like celebrating in the streets with no masks on. So then we had about at least 3 different waves. And we have flu and stuff that's, you know, here to stay because of the fact that we weren't careful the last time. We learn absolutely nothing. The more we know, the less we actually take that lesson to heart. I almost said hurt. But that too. Okay, pressure valve. So it kind of sucks, but it's not surprising. I mean, you had the freaking leader of the CDC being like, it's a good thing only people like Toluca are gonna die. I know they didn't say that, but they just said, It's actually a good thing only the vulnerable, like the disabled and elderly, will die. And it's like, do you know how many people either are or know disabled or elderly people? Like, okay. Yeah, it's fine that grandma's gonna bite it. Go off and go to that concert and live your life. So, and then people are told that they're, you know, they suffer from like COVID derangement if you don't mask up and stuff. And it's like, yeah, because all the extensive studies about damage to white matter, the fact that it can give you cancer back, make you impotent, give you heart attacks. Yeah, that stuff's nothing to worry about. And it's not just people like me either, but they'll say it is to help themselves sleep at night. Because people like me to people like them aren't exactly like the premium members of society, anywho. And it gets really exhausting and kind of sad to hear that message parsed out in various ways and still try to maintain like who you are and find yourself to be as important as everybody else, etc. To know that even like the people who should have your like, or the most of the people's like health at heart, the CDC, would just be like, it's actually great that people like you are gonna die. Well, that only people like you are gonna die. Yeah, I guess so. But then, you know, getting repeated infections actually makes more people like me. So there is that. But right now they have enough worker bees to do everything that's needed, and if they don't, well, then just hire the people who should be in school, i.e. the teenagers. Who really needs beyond a third grade education? Not me. I mean, they got it at the national level now. The Department of Special Education, like the Department of Education with an emphasis on hitting the special education, whatever. And people are like, well, we don't have to worry about all that because, in all honesty, it's fine since the states should handle it anyway. And it's like, do you know how many states don't handle it though? And I'm being completely and utterly serious about that. Do you know how many states do not handle their funding for education at all? How many states, especially in the South, rely on nothing but federal funding to fund their schools? Quite a few. So imagine being a kid down in like Oklahoma, down in Florida, down in a few other places, and they're like, well, you know, your state will pay for it, but it doesn't. It won't. It usually lets the, you know, the federal deal with it. Then what happens to you? There was a Fox News commentator, Greg something. I don't really give a fuck about him, so I don't really know his name. Just like he wouldn't give a fuck about me. But he actually stated at one point they don't want disabled kids educated at all. And yeah, he's not in government, he's just a Fox News commentator. But here's the thing, a lot of things spoken on Fox News are things that are at least firmly believed by a good chunk of the people in charge right now. So, what do you do about that one? When you hear, you know, we don't really think disabled people should be educated, disabled kids. And yes, every person should be given the opportunity to get a free education that is within the bounds of them to learn. There used to be special schools for disabled people. They didn't really work out well. And you weren't always really taught anything. I mean, it depended on the circumstance, sure, but generally not. You were thought to be incapable of learning, or you weren't pushed to see what your potential truly was, or you were not treated well by the teachers. There were a lot of things that happened. I know you could just say, well, you know, no education at all, but honestly, sometimes no education at that point was better than the education they were getting. And I think I know where this comes from, because people see disabled people as unable to hold down a job, and like, why are we teaching you to read and write when you obviously don't need to know, as though no disabled person in the history of ever has had a job, that we're just, every one of us is incapable. And even the ones of us who cannot hold down a full-time job or whatever, for whatever reason, still do other things. We can still volunteer on a schedule that helps us with, you know, maintaining our ability to rest or to go to appointments or do other things. Or we do go into business for ourselves. It just takes like decades to work up to it or what have you. So I will take the breastplate for defense. Yeah. Yes. Because somebody, we will talk, we all know who I mean by this somebody, said educated people, smart people, something, either educated or smart people don't like me. And I'm thinking to myself, what does that say about that person? Not only if smart people don't like them or educated people don't like them, but also what does that say in regards to what they think of the people who voted for them? Because that's something, isn't it? Smart people don't like me, or educated people don't like me. I think it was smart. Smart people don't like me. If smart people didn't like me, that says an awful lot. Even if you don't think it does, it does. So, and then it also says the people who do like you, you find them to be idiots. I wouldn't want somebody who likes me to be thought of as, oh god, you're such an idiot for liking me or trusting me or whatever. To say that out loud is honestly fucking wild. Like, beyond wild. Beyond wild, Smurf. It was just shocking to me. And it shouldn't be, but it is. It's like, I would not tell myself like that, to be honest with you. I would like to say that it's fine, but I would not tell myself that way. I would be like, the people who trust me and like me are the smartest people in the world. The people who hate me are really ridiculous and stupid and immature. Like, I would go full on lol call with that shit. Because I wouldn't want to say, yeah, you believe in me, then you're fucking stupid. Like, that essentially tells you that the person is lying to you, the person is using you, etc. In my opinion. Because why would they have to be stupid to like you? Why can't smart people also like you? Why can't they also follow you? Why shouldn't they also find you worthy of, you know, their time, their patience, their money, their whatever? It's baffling to me. It's beyond baffling to me. But what do I know? But yeah, I love the uneducated is also great. And then they tell you not to get an education. Well, why would that be? Why does someone not want you to get a proper education? And the thing is, they could say, okay, woke mind virus. Okay, I get that. But you're telling me the only way to get an education is through the woke mind virus? Yeah, it sounds wrong, doesn't it? If only stupid people like me, it means that I must not be worthy of being liked by people who can reason. And I'm not talking about IQ. I'm talking about people that can look at something, make an informed choice, people who are taught to look through the bullshit. Honestly, it's wild. It is absolutely wild. And I don't care if somebody's educated or uneducated. I like kind, nice people. But I would have to look at anybody sideways that was like, the stupider you are, the more you like me. I'd be like, okay, then that means you're using me. Then that means you're lying to me. Let's try these people. A couple with many, many children. Oh my god, they look so creepy and beautiful. I can't wait to see all of their babies. Oh boy. Balls deal half damage. Okay, we're gonna try them. Oh boy. These aliens having kids. Oh my, okay, I gotcha. Wow, they have quite a bit of balls. They like big balls. That's pretty sweet. I don't know if I'm gonna like these characters. They have a very unique gimmick, at least I'll tell you that much. I wonder how many balls we can just keep going, and if they, let's see. We'll see. Maybe this will be the key. Maybe, because the one that had the, like, scatter shot is how I beat the, Boneyard the first time. At least we're seeing new characters, if not new people. There are a fair amount of levels in this. I just wish I could get to at least the second one before, you know, stream ends. Because it's important to me that you know, you all see something. Okay, let's go. Silver bullet deals a damage until they hit the wall. That isn't good for them because I can't aim for dick, so. Let's go. I love the ability to have multiple balls. I don't know if, like, the half damage is actually as bad, or half speed is bad then. I don't know. We'll see. I do like that the family that slays together stays together. I'm thinking about doing 1 or 2 more jokes for Halloween too, but I'm not sure. Yeah, exactly. Why does someone need you to be uneducated? Why does someone need you? Why does someone say smart people? They didn't say educated people, by the way. So if education is truly a bad thing, this person didn't say educated. They said smart people, I think. I could be wrong about that. But the terminology, which also links uneducated people to not being smart, which I don't necessarily agree with that assertion. I myself am a college dropout. I think I'm, let's say, smart enough to get by. But yeah, it's kind of something. It's just like, my, how do I put this? So I will say someone I know. I'm just gonna say someone I know. Someone I know is Democrat. Their people are Republican. And they have like a really hard time because their people are like, well, I want I want sources to back up what you're saying, but only like the most Republican sources will do for them to believe. So anything that contradicts what they believe is going to be Democratic woke nonsense. So that just means to me that they don't really want an answer, because the only answer they will believe is the one that they already accept. So that doesn't work for me. And I told them the same thing. I'm like, they're just not going to believe you, because unless it comes from like their right-wing sources, they're not going to, you know. And even things like routers, whatever the hell it is, they're called left-leaning nowadays. We are so far moved to the right of the political spectrum that even like neutral things that were highly neutral are now considered left. So, and even the more leftist people in some parts of the world, they're actually considered centrists in other parts of the world, because our left is so far right and our right is so far gone. I'm not saying all right, I'm just saying like comparatively where the left is versus the right. Like, you'd have to find a really, really, really left-wing nut job to compare to like half of the right wing now. It used to be like, it was more like divided out, and it's not. And more liberals now are the way Republicans used to be, in my estimation. That's just my estimation, though. I could be wrong. But it seems like a lot of the moderates now are liberals, or what used to pass as liberal, because that's just how far everything's shifted. Which is kind of sad. And I am like very, very, very left-wing, and I don't even think I would pass the like left-wing sniff test in like certain parts of the EU. So that's just really weird. But I don't know, I haven't been there. But I've heard people like talking about it. Like, the people have gone to like Europe and they're like, you know, I really did think I was, you know, left-leaning until I was in Europe, and then what passes for left-leaning in some of those countries is a lot. And I'm like, wow, that's something. I can't imagine, like, because almost everybody I talk to, except for like a couple of, maybe even one of my writer friends, I am more left-leaning than any of them. And I can't imagine feeling like I was more centrist or just liberal and not like extreme leftist. That would be a wild experience, let me tell you. Feeling like I wasn't left enough when I'm just told that like I'm way too far left as it is. I don't think I'm technically way too far left. I think for the most part, I just believe in what Jesus taught, even though I'm not a Christian anymore. And a lot of thanks to that goes to Christians themselves. Definitely Christians themselves. And I hate to say it like that, but it's true. And I firmly believe that if you are a Christian, but you follow, how do I put this? You don't follow Christ's teachings, you follow like the Old Testament, I believe that you're less a Christian than you are something else. Because when, according to the Bible, when Christ came down to earth, and if you believe in Christ as a Christian and whatnot, like I said, I used to be, I don't anymore. Not for a long time. But if you're a Christian and you believe in Christ, when Christ came down, he fulfilled all the other rules. I don't think I'm ever getting through this with any other character. But we're gonna get stuff at the base. At least I can get more money and stuff this way, but Jesus God. Okay, let's fling me this way. Alright, there we go. Whee! Yeah, everybody can kind of help you dash away. I think we killed everything I currently have out. That wasn't bad. I should, though, build something else, mayhap. Let's see what we got. Okay, all characters gain 1+ bonus to intelligence. I don't know what we all have. Let's see. Barracks. Strength. Sure, let's go. We're gonna move the barracks right here. In case we have to bop into it to build it. We might. But we're gonna take this and then we're gonna move this. If I can. Okay. Thank you. Nope. I don't want that one moved. I want this one moved. We're done building this, so this one can go here. Yep. Any building that we're done with, we're just gonna leave in a different area. So that I don't accidentally bump into it on my way to actually building something. Alright, let's go back to these people. But yeah, you can actually do auto fire on a lot of these critters. It's just, you move slower. But I don't know if it matters at the moment. This is why I don't want the balls to like do their thing until they hit the damn wall, because otherwise I'll just end up losing all my power up, because these are gonna hit the wall a lot. My sister is getting ready to start the conference thing this month, and I think it's on like the 20-something second maybe. And oh gods, is she nervous. Oh gods, is she nervous. She's like freaking out, which I understand. It's like 2 days where she has to remember everything, and you know, it's hard to be like a business owner when you're anybody. But when you're disabled, to be a business owner, my god. Because you have to work with like, generally a lot of times DVR or something will be there to help you, quote unquote. But there's more paperwork, there's more bullshit. You have to not only report to the IRS, but the SSI administration. You can only make, like, if you make SSI or get SSI, you can only make $65 a month before they start taking away your money. And it's like $1 for every dollar you make. So let's say you get $1,000 a month in SSI. If you make $2,000 a month, you get your entire SSI check wiped out. And people are going to be like, well, $2,000 isn't too bad. It is if you need a new like $20,000 wheelchair. And I think that's before fucking taxes too, but I don't know. Maybe it's after. We'll say it's after, but holy shit. It's complicated. It is very complicated, very taxing, very difficult. You need a tax specialist that, yeah, taxing and tax specialist. Didn't mean to do that. But you need a tax specialist who knows how to deal with like all that kind of stuff. And imagine going to a conference. So you're somebody who makes something. You have to go to a conference with all the stuff you've made. So let's say you make pottery. You have to like make all these pieces, find out the pricing for them, like make them like really good quality so that people want to buy them. And then when you're packing up, you have to make sure like you also pack up your disability stuff. So if you have a catheter, if you have a feeding tube, if you have a walker, if you have a wheelchair that runs on battery, you're gonna need your charger. Like there are so many things. So it's not just making stuff, but it's also getting everything in there. And if you need a caregiver, like let's say I do, that means making sure your caregiver can get in with you, and you have to sign them up for it. You have to make sure they're like part of the room is paid for. It's a lot. It is an awful lot. And then imagine you've never done this before, so you're sweating buckets and freaking out, and you're supposed to coordinate with like 17 different people for all different aspects of your business. It's hard to start a business, but as a disabled person, where you have to like literally like run it across like everything you do to everybody else or with everybody else, it's hard. It really is hard. And she really is just stressing out, which I don't blame her, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't even think I can handle... I can't even handle looking at my writing as a business. And that's exactly what it is. When you're a writer, you're a business. Which is one of the reasons why I had to walk away from Asimov's. By the way, Asimov's doesn't want to let me go yet. They actually put in an anti-AI thing for me so that I wouldn't worry about AI, which is really nice of them, but AI was not the only thing I was worried about with those blanket statements they were trying to hold me to. And I said, only if you give me the right of refusal for everything you decide to do with my writing, would I be okay with it. So anything beyond like an ebook, audiobook, physical edition, and whatever else, like a few other things I said, I would need to be able to say yes to. So they would have to come to me every fucking time they wanted to lease out my poem, and they are not going to do that. They are absolutely not going to do that. But it's their fault because they have such blanket statements on their fucking contract that I can't trust them to not do something ridiculous with my writing. So because of that, I'd have to ask for right of refusal every fucking time. And they are not going to give me right of refusal. I am nothing but a shitty little poet. They don't need my stuff. Like, there's like a lot of other people who would want to be in Asimov's and not care what they do or how badly they fuck them over. People want the byline, and I understand that. At one point in my life, I think I would have been the same way. I absolutely think I would have been the same way. But, you know, they could have used it for AI before the clause in the contract they put in. They could still, like, use it for, like, a lot of stuff. They could put it beside a story about, like, how genocide is great, actually. 13 ways to do genocide. Why putting all disabled people in nursing homes is a mercy, actually. Like, they could put my stuff right next to a story that talks about that does that. Do I want that? Fuck no. Absolutely not. But I wouldn't have any say because I wouldn't be able to say. So that's why I was like, no, no thank you. We're not doing that. So I think now they won't contact me anymore, which is fine. I can't trust them to not do something I don't like, so it's hard, but... And my writer friend who was helping me with the contract, they're like, well, have you ever tried giving your speculative stuff to literary magazines? And I was like, no, I've never really crossed the streams like that. I've tried it like a few times, but like nothing major. And they're like, a lot of places will take good speculative writing even if they're literary minded, because good speculative writing fits both. And that is true. So I could try some higher tier literary markets with some of my speculative work. That would be something to consider. But right now I just feel like I'm, you know, clunking myself in the balls every time I do something speculative lately because of how many times I've been let down. So we'll see. I was gonna say I'm not gonna submit any more this month, but that's probably a lie. Yeah, I was trying to be nice, but I really wanted to say, like, with a contract this grabby, you could literally sell my work to, let's say I did not see that. Those kind of people who do not see. And because of that, hold on, I need to see this. Increases stone harvest or pierces through boulders when harvesting. I think we'll take that one, actually. Even though we only have one boulder right now. We should probably get some more boulders, huh? Let's see if we can manage some new boulders. We're not expanding. We have the money though. But then we have to like bang on certain things, so. Alright, let's put up another boulder. Now that we have the piercing especially. We'll just do 6 right here. Alrighty. Harvest. Okay. And we're gonna try to hit into this building. We won't be able to. I bet I did it wrong. Please hit the building. Please hit the building. Thank you. Okay, they hit the building. The building is now built. We have a built building. Buildingly, okay. Alright, so back to the pit. Ooh, unlocks the snowy shores. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's what they get. They get a gear. Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm gonna keep beating my head up against the wall with these two, I suppose. Yeah, I try to be nice because I think who I'm talking to is like the editor. And the editor isn't the one who does the contracts, it's the stupid fucking owners. And I just love the lies the owners tell. We revamped this thanks to the feedback from the Science Fiction Writers of America. Did you really? Because I can fucking guarantee if I can see at least 8 things wrong with the contract, you didn't talk to them at all, or you did talk to them and you did not take their fucking advice. I can guarantee that. Why can I guarantee that? Because I do not know shit about contracts compared to most people. And if I can tell you something is wrong, something is definitely wrong. Like before the friend of mine gets back to me, I usually try to look over the contracts like the magazine send me or the presses send me. And I'm like, okay, this I don't feel great about, but I'm gonna wait and see what they say in case. And for some reason, I'm almost always on board, although they do catch things so that I don't catch. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus. So, but they've been doing this stuff a little bit longer than me. They have like a journalism background and they're like 70 years old and stuff. So they know a little bit more than I do when it comes to like negotiating contracts. So I kind of defer to their judgment at points. Which I'm right to do because Jesus. But like I said, if I can tell stuff is wrong, like, there's stuff wrong. There's absolutely stuff wrong. And I would absolutely love to say that I'm just being paranoid or whatever, but no. But I do like the fact that when they took over the magazine, they kept on the staff. But that just makes it harder for me to say no because I've always wanted to like work with like some of the Asimov's editors, and since they were left on staff, it's like, oh god damn it, like these are some of the people I've wanted to like edit with and work with essentially, and now nothing. But like I said, sometimes you gotta walk away and do what's best. Although I do feel like a shitty writer still. I'm trying to work to get past that. And my writer friend's like, well, you know, you're always gonna have like times where you get rejected and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, I'm used to rejection. I've been like, my first published poem was when I was 10 years old. I am quite used to rejection by now. I've been getting rejections on a fairly regular basis since I was a teenage girl. But yeah. It's just hard out there sometimes. And like I said, getting a yes to something you really want and knowing you have to walk away is worse than getting a no, in my opinion. Even though I should feel proud of myself, like, yeah, my work is actually good enough for Asimov's. What I end up thinking is like, I was so fucking close and now it doesn't matter. I hate being close than being told I wasn't even halfway in the building. It just... yeah, it just sucks. But I can always take this month off and try again or whatever. I have a couple other places to potentially put my speculative like hybrid book that I can look into at least. I'm not sure. There are so few places for it though. Like that was last year's Indignity, I guess I should call it. And this year's was Asimov's, so it's hard to... oh, they have a lot of baby balls because they're the parents, so that's a good one actually. It's just hard to kind of deal with that kind of disappointment when you're like right up against the gate pushing in. I honestly never thought that I would have to say no to contracts. Maybe because I thought I would never be good enough to have to worry about that, but I don't know. Yeah, we're getting to the point where we're gonna get hurt. Aw, man. 10. I don't know why I keep doing this. Why I keep sucking so much dick. Jesus. I wish I'd get some life back when I gained some fucking XP, but nope. I'm not sure if husband and I are carving a pumpkin this year. I really hope we are. But it's not the worst thing if we don't. Last year was our first one in quite the while. Well, housing has gained an ability. Nice. Let's do it. Return to base. I should work on building the next building potentially as well. Okay. We're gonna put this building over here. We're just gonna... because I think that was built. Now we're gonna go find another building. Let's see what we can do. Together, me and you. Okay, all characters gain speed. Affects movement and ball speed. Okay, let's go. Let's try to get that built, or at least some of it built. We can harvest. Okay, ready? Well, we got a decent harvest, but we haven't fucking built anything. Damn it. Well, we got some more wood too. We need it all, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm sorry for anybody who wanted to see more zombie action tonight. It's just... we lose this on the 20th, I think, so... we're just here. We'll do 1 or 2 more runs. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to show you the second. But this game seems to be fairly popular right now. And that's great. I love the idea that this game can be some kind of like viral indie, or at least like fairly well known, because like I said, I love the idea of the breaker mixed with the roguelike. It just tickles my tiny black heart. But yeah, my friend and I are gonna go to like a cheap store, like a couple cheap stores. Neither one of us has a lot of money, but we've only been shopping together. We've known each other for like 15 years maybe. And we've only been shopping together like a couple times. Like, we used to really love a thrift store that wasn't like too far from where I lived, but they like shut that shit down. Okay, why am I fucking up so badly? Like, they're jumping all over. Oh man, this ain't gonna go well. Yeah, we're already dead. Let's just say retry. Quick restart. Yes. Because that was awful. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I don't know if I was picking up the wrong upgrades or what was happening there precisely, but nothing great. Nothing absolutely great. But yeah, I'm still salty they took away my thrift store. That thrift store was amazing. Like, it was... you could get, like, stuff for your husband for, like, less than, like, $2 a shirt. And they were good shirts and purses and... I think so. I think this released today. Or last night. I'm not sure which one. Do you remember when this released, husby? When this released? Yeah, it's a today thing. And since we don't have Ultimate for too much longer because of the fucking price increase, I was like, if I don't play this for you all today, unless I ram out a video this weekend, you're not going to get to see me play it. So... granted, there are probably players way farther than I am right fucking now. But we're not gonna worry about that. We're not gonna worry about it. It's fine. I just don't know what the hell I'm doing with my life. I don't know why I'm not doing the right things. Maybe I'm not building or taking the right powers with the right characters. Yep. It is $15 on Steam. Maybe Black Friday it'll go off and I'll pick it up for myself. Not that $15 wouldn't be a great deal. Like, I'm still fucking loving Brotato, and Brotato was like $5. I mean, I have some really cheap ass taste sometimes in games. You know, I'm not always after the $70, $80, fucking $90 video games. A lot of times I love the indies. The indies are doing so much work in keeping everything unique and interesting in the video gaming industry. And I don't know if you've heard, but like a lot of the stuff for Xbox has been taken off like Target, and they were selling like some of the leftover like Prime Day deal stuff for like pennies on the dollar for like controllers for the Xbox and stuff. Microsoft is really hurting themselves. Pretty soon, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft just becomes a Ultimate box. Or like a Game Pass box, I should say. Because it really seems like that's where we're heading. Could I be wrong? Sure, but it doesn't feel like I am. Feels like we're trying to do an Ultimate box here. Because they seem really intent on getting the prices higher and higher. And Husby reminded me that before they bought like Blizzard Activision, that Ultimate was only $15 a month. And now it's fucking $30. So like sometime last year or so, Ultimate was only like $15. Like the best Game Pass you could get. And now the second one down is $15, which a lot of people are probably going to move to that one. So I can't wait until they fucking decide to do something different. And I think I was doing better with the other characters, but we'll see. But yeah, if they decide to do something different and jack up the price as a premium next. Yeah, I think that a lot of people in the industry were not the happiest with Silksong being as cheap as it was. Because Silksong could have charged a fair bit more and they just didn't. And people still would have bought Silksong. And as far as I can tell from like watching people play it, because you know, I'm not good at Metroidvanias, we'd be lost in like the third room forever. But as far as I can tell, that game has a lot of content in it. A lot of like challenge rooms, a lot of fucking secrets to find. The map befitting of a Metroidvania is fucking huge. And I heard that some devs were not the happiest about them charging so little. I don't know if it was like the platforms they were on that hated it because they couldn't get a bigger cut. And they knew that Silksong would be a moneymaker. If it had to do with them making them look bad, I don't remember, but yeah. And it's honestly the way it should be. I mean, so a lot of the games that are like $80 now, I'm gonna be a dick. I'm gonna be a dick. I don't make video games. I know a lot of talent and a lot of time and everything goes into them, but people's wages do not go up, but yet everything else does. And to say to somebody, well, this game is like worth like $100 of your hard-earned money when you only make like maybe a couple thousand a month is just kind of audacious to me. Like, if you can honestly justify that price with the content and stuff. But it seems like, okay, we're gonna take Nintendo, because I'm really not fucking happy with Nintendo. Like, really not fucking happy. Nintendo almost seems to be like, well, if you can play it infinitely online, like, we can charge like way more money because you can play it over and over again online. Oh man. One more run, I think. But I think the other guy is better for this, but anyway, we'll see. But yeah, I need to beat this level with like 2 characters. I'm sure the amount of characters you have to beat each level with goes up in time. Like you'll need like 5 for 1 level, etc. But yeah, I think that's honestly why Mario is now like 80 bucks. Because they're like, it's infinitely replayable online. And let's not talk about how good Nintendo's online has or hasn't been in past years. Who needs to rehash those old wounds? But yeah, I can understand where companies are putting a lot into them of themselves in, but then you get fucking games like Silksong and it's like all this time, all this money. They got all this flack for essentially not coming out as fast as people wanted. And here they brought out this big ass game. And people were really excited and everything, and they could have just said 40 bucks. They could have easily said 30, 40. People might have grumbled a bit, but they would have still bought it in droves. And that's not what they did. They were like, okay, here's the deal, here's what it is. And any company would have been like, well, you know, more of the AAAs would have been like, but actually, there's like how big of a map in this game? But actually, there's like how many different play styles, how many different secrets? It's actually a $60 game, you see. Because we put in so much. And it's like, okay then. And people still would have bought it. So. I mean, I would really like to pretend that, you know, more companies are just into giving people like really great experiences that they can love and talk about forever, but that's not true. And yeah, I know they're companies. I'm not saying, oh, don't look at the bottom line, because of course, every company has to look at the bottom line. They have to stay afloat. They might want to be profitable for their shareholders, but shareholders really fuck everything up. Because the shareholders make, you know, you do things for your games, to your audience and stuff that shouldn't necessarily be done. They make you take advantage of people more than you probably should. Because like I said, if you get people who actually really care about what you're doing and about your games, like, you'll get the money from that. Yeah, you could milk people more with like DLC that's done on day one, Donkey Kong, but I'm sorry, just had a bit of a verbal hiccup there for a sec, but you could just do that kind of thing, and people are like, I don't think so. It's just kind of sad. No, Bonanza isn't worth $70. Yeah, exactly. And someone like me who might not like Bonanza at all, it would be like, to me it's only $30. Who decides? Is it how long it's been in development hell? Because a lot of things get held up in development hell for like no reason. Is it how many hours they put in? Is it how many hours worth of gameplay? Because I gotta tell you, I've sunk an embarrassing amount of hours into Brotato. An absolutely disgustingly, embarrassingly joyful amount of hours. That's a game where I can just kind of turn off my brain and, you know, engage with it and try to unlock stuff and stuff like that. I've spent a hugely amount of disgusting, beautiful hours in that game. So, does that mean that Brotato for me would have been like a $50 game? Because I've gotten way more than $5 out of that game. Way more. Even counting the like $4 or $5 extra I paid for the DLC. Yes, I bought that game. A lot of games I just like play on Game Pass or whatever. I fucking bought that game. I love that game. It is so good. And my sister, who has trouble playing games because she's, you know, she really only uses one hand to play because of her disability, she also loves that game. She loves that game because you can auto shoot. You don't have to aim. So she doesn't need to use her bad hand to help her with that game. So she and I can actually just play that game together and relax and have fun. And it's so good for the both of us. And even my baby sibling, when they came over from college, they loved that game. They had such fun. As they say, such stupid amounts of fun. So, because husband, them, and I had played it together, and they really enjoyed it. And they're like, how much is it? What consoles is it on? And I'm like telling them pretty much everything, like all that kind of stuff. But to my family, that would be worth more than a $5 game, but I'm kind of scared what they're gonna do, what Nintendo is gonna do to the Tamagotchi life. Because I don't really know if I want to know what it's gonna be like. Oh, it's a $900 game, really? Because you can make an infinite amount of Miis. Have fun. And like I said, people's fucking money hasn't gone up, their income hasn't gone up. And yeah, you could argue, well, people don't need video games. Granted, but people do need escapes and stuff. That's like when they say to people about people on welfare, well, you don't need a TV, you don't need books, you don't need anything. You just need food and whatever, like just a bed and to stare at blank walls otherwise. And it's like everybody needs some kind of escape, everybody needs some kind of hobby, everybody needs some kind of something. I've actually seen people who have pretty much no hobby. They're, let's say, very interesting people. They barely even watch TV, like they only do it like occasionally, but they don't read, they don't hike, they don't lift weights, they don't write poetry, they don't join a sports team, they do nothing. Essentially, they just do their job, come home and do nothing but like scroll social media. Like, it's not healthy. We all need an outlet, we all need an escape, we all need something to do with ourselves outside of a job. And no, the answer to that isn't just simply get another job. Although I know some people would probably tell you that's what the answer is. It isn't. Jesus, I'm doing a lot of damage, but yeah, they're not dying. I mean, I'm gonna be dying pretty soon. They're gonna, yep, start damaging me. Of course, I'm gonna do better offline. The stuff you don't see is the stuff I'll do better. Like, I've tried to get stuff going in Brotato on stream, and then it doesn't work, and then after I get off stream, like that night, I'll be playing for a couple hours, and then I'll get farther than I did on stream, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, I look like I'm such a bad player with all this kind of stuff. But yeah, when I'm off stream, it's like sometimes I can get stuff going, and it's like they're never gonna believe I didn't just pass the remote to Husby. They're never gonna believe. I want this, I guess. It ain't gonna matter. They're gonna eat me alive, so. Yep. Yeah, a form of expression, something productive to do, something, you know. Alright, everybody. I think that about wraps it up for Ball and Pit. I'm sorry I couldn't get us past the first fucking level. This is something I'll probably play a lot before I get rid of Ultimate, though. Next week, it's kind of looking like I only have one slot for streaming available. And it looks like it's going to be Wednesday, because Monday, I have a blood appointment that I'll be recovering on Tuesday. And then Thursday, I have an appointment with my nurse practitioner, and it's just gonna be a lot of medical bullshit. I hate feeling like a professional patient. I feel like it a lot. I'm very glad that I have Medicaid, though, so that I can be taken care of. It's just all the poking and prodding and trying new medications makes me feel like a bit of a lab rat. A little bit not human. but it's something I need to do, something I need to get done. And even though it's not pleasant, if we can take care of ourselves, we should. And I'm not just going to tell you that and then turn around and not do it myself. So Wednesday will probably be Dead by Daylight. And I'm hoping to put out a gameplay video maybe this weekend and next weekend. Maybe I'll stream a day next weekend. It kind of depends. But I just want to make sure what's going on, and I'll let you know. Maybe I'll have to do the weekend if I do it as a surprise, because I can't schedule that because I just don't know. But that all being said and done, I'm going to say goodbye to you for now. I hope you have the most lovely of weekends. I hope the weather is gorgeous. I hope you go for a walk. I hope you snuggle under a blanket. I hope you eat some soup, some chocolate, something amazing. I hope you look at yourself in the mirror and find something to like about you, your beautiful eyes, your luscious hair, your delicate hands, something you like about you. I hope you find something to like about you, your life, your neighbor, somebody. And remember that you're important and that you deserve care, and that I will see you here next week. Bye, Shelpers.